Hi and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the awakening journey. I am an intuitive ascension-based astrologer, a tarot reader, a Reiki master, and an angelic healer. And I have a variety of different services that I do offer. So if you are interested and you require any assistance at this time, please check those out in the description box below. Today we're going to be doing a reading for the month of August for the sign of Leo. This is going to be Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs, as well as for the cross watcher of the lovely Leo. Happy birthday month to my lionesses and lions. I love you all very, very much, and I'm excited to see what's in store for you. This is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate, check out your other sign placements. If you don't know what those are, you can go to a website such as astro.com and have a chart drawn up for you. Okay, so this is an interesting little spread that we've got going on here. So, your first card out is the Fool. So this is beautiful. This is that fresh energy of new beginnings, of sort of that. I feel like for a lot of you, there's been some heaviness, there's been some stress. Like you guys have, we've got these two cards coming out here, right? The Ten of Swords and the Seven of Swords. So, and I feel like this is past energy for you guys. You guys have been through a lot. You've had some situations that really called you to step into your power, to find your voice, to find your truth when maybe on the outside, like you weren't always being presented with the truth, and you really had to go internally to figure out what that was. I feel like you have the Justice card coming out as your second card. There's a situation here that's being brought to justice, a situation where you feel as though you were treated unfairly, and there's some sort of new beginning that's occurring for you as a result of this situation being resolved. And so we have the Knight of Cups here as well, which is interesting. So I feel as though there's somebody from your past who's wanting to come back and sort of address some of this fuckery that went on here to make a situation right? And so that's going to be the major call for you guys, if resonating with you, is this person coming back in and just apologizing, or are they actually taking the actions to make the situation right? Because that's what you guys want from them, right? In general, we don't want apologies, we want action. We want you to show us that you've changed, right? Show us that something is different. Like, we can say I'm sorry all day long, but what does that actually mean if there's no action behind it? So I feel like for a lot of you guys, that's the energy that you've been in for a while with this person, or whatever the situation is like, I've spent a lot of sleepless nights really being stressed out about this, really not understanding and knowing that I was being deceived and not necessarily knowing how. And I just don't want to deal with that anymore. I'm not, if you're going to come, then you need to come correct, and you need to let me know. You need to be honest and straightforward with me, basically, is what you guys are looking for. And whatever it is that is revealed, you need to be willing to work on that. You need to be willing to walk your talk. You guys have been in situations where people were not walking their talk. And so now you're really, and some of you have been that person in that situation, I'm feeling as well. And so for those of you that resonates with, you're being called to walk your talk right now. So for some of you, this may be an area where you need to bring justice to a situation where you treated somebody unfairly, or you were possibly deceptive or not upfront. And that energy of you being that way is actually what's put you in this energy of just really a lot of mental torment, because you know that there are situations that need to be righted. And the people may or may not know that this is the case, but you know, and it's eating you up inside. You're stepping into a new level of spiritual integrity that requires you to take responsibility for your actions. And that's not always fun. That can be super awkward sometimes. And so I think some of you are actually in that stage right now. And for others of you, you're waiting for somebody else to realize that and to own up to their own actions. And this person that you're waiting for may be a romantic interest. It may be somebody, regardless, there's a lot of emotion here, whether this is a romantic situation or entanglement or not. There's a lot of emotions here, and there's a lot of justice that needs to be had. But we do have the Fool card. So I'm feeling for some of you, this is just going to be closure. You're looking for closure here, and when they may come back around wanting to offer more than that, that may or may not be something that you're interested in. But you're going to start a new cycle as a result of this either way. And for those of you that this person doesn't come back in, and this is just a person that you know maybe came in with a lot of this sweet romantic talk and gestures and really didn't follow through with any of that, made a lot of promises that they couldn't keep. Like, if that person does not come back around and make that situation right, then you can still start fresh. You can still start over. You can decide to close that book, to end that story, and to move forward into the next chapter of your lives, regardless of whether or not, like, we get closure internally. Right? We don't need that from another person. When we have healed completely from a situation, we no longer require outside closure because we have experienced that within. So I want to put that out for some people too. Like, don't sit and wait around for somebody to come back around and admit that they were wrong. Like, they may not do that, and that's okay. We can still take the high road. We can learn the lessons that we were meant to learn, really internalize that, accept where they're at, and just move forward in our own path. But I am feeling with the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck here that for some of you where this is in regards to a romantic situation, you may not be interested in this apology because you got somebody else that's kind of shown up. We got the King of Wands with the Emperor right here. And so there may be somebody else coming into your reality. Somebody that really does, we talked about that energy of walking your talk. So this is a super fiery personality. We have the Emperor, which is the card that represents Aries. And then we have the King of Wands, which is a fire sign energy, right? Like a masculine fire sign energy. So this is like heavy masculine fire energy here. So, and we have the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck under that, destined and fated events. So for some of you, like closing out this cycle and deciding that you're going to have this new beginning, whether or not you actually get the apology that you're looking for, or whether or not this person comes around and makes it right. And for those of you with the other situation where you need to make something right, you actually stepping up and making the situation right that needs to be righted through right action, not just talk, but through right action, initiates this start of this brand new cycle, this brand new beginning, and brings in like this fiery energy of some type of, I wanted to say counterpart, so I'm going to say that for some of you, of a counterpart, of someone who is an energetic and frequency match for you. And for others of you, this is you. This is you stepping into your own Emperor energy, really taking control and moving forward. This is like the energy of initiating, like there's a whole new cycle being initiated here. And so many blessings. Like whatever is happening in your life right now is destined and fated. It is like these are, we got some major arcana here. These are karmic cards. These are cards of fate, of destiny, right? Like whatever's happening in your life right now, there is a deeper meaning to it. So really know that and feel that. And you want to learn, you want to step deeply into things, and you really want to take this energy and these lessons seriously and really step up to the plate here and require everybody else in your life to step up to the plate as well. If they're not able to do it, there is somebody going in who is going to be able to do that. But if you want to attract this energy in of this person who's able to step up and be that vibrational match, be that strong, confident energy that walks their talk, like you have to be that first. And I'm actually being drawn to pull a couple Moonology cards about this as well. So let's see what advice we have from the Moonology deck here. Advice for Leo regarding this situation. And we have a time to give rather than take. So this is that energy of making things right, right? Full moon in Gemini, the answers you need are coming. And new moon in Sagittarius, luck is on your side. Luck is on your side. So yeah, this is a time to really consider the needs of others. Right? I mean, you guys are absolutely incredible. I love I have family members, I have close friends who are Leos. I adore you guys, but there is that stigma and that stereotype, which can be true sometimes, where you can tend to, the world sort of revolves around you, right? Like that's the lower expression of your energy. It's really that kind of like self-involved, like not even, just not really taking in the full picture and taking other people's needs into account. And so if that is something that you've been accused of lately, or you can relate to, or that you've been trying to work on, this is confirmation that it is time to do that. And it's time to really think about what other people need as well. Like maybe other people need that closure from you. And yes, like I said, we don't need that from anyone. We can find that within ourselves. When we truly have healed from a situation, we're able to move on. But maybe some people aren't at that level and aren't able to do that. And so being that force that comes in and gives them that closure could be really healing for somebody else, right? And yeah, that's really all I want to say about that, is like we can be that force for other people. Even though it is so empowering to realize that we don't need that from someone, it can be a really kind thing to give that to somebody that you know needs that from you. And just really taking into account the needs of all the people around you, and sort of like getting into that space of love and gratitude, and just opening up that channel for receiving the blessings, right? By giving, right? We talk about when I give, I receive, and vice versa, and really getting into that energy of what that feels like. I feel for some of you, you've been a little bit stunted in that energy. You've been a little hesitant to give. Some of you may be in a place of insecurity, whether that's financial insecurity, emotional insecurity, where you haven't really wanted to give a whole lot. And you've sort of been in that space of needing a lot of that validation and needing that support from others. And so, yeah, without necessarily being able to give it back. And this isn't a terrible thing. It's just we all get out of balance like that sometimes. So if that is somewhere where you have been out of balance, you're just being called to bring that back into balance again. And the answers you need are coming. So this is now flipping the script again. This is interesting. It's like two different groups that I'm channeling for right now. For the other group of you where there was this situation where someone was misleading you and was not being upfront with you, and you're still a little bit in the dark, this is the confirmation that those answers, that explanation, that justice is coming for you guys. And the answers may come from them, and like we said, those answers may come from within you. You may have sudden realizations or epiphanies surrounding this situation, and those answers, like you may all of a sudden realize what you learned, what this situation, what this person was teaching you, and that is absolutely like all that you needed to learn. And I heard reciprocity in my head when I said what this person is teaching you, which comes back to a time to give rather than take. So this is on either end, whether it was unbalanced because you were giving too much and they were taking without giving back, or whether that was happening in the reverse and they were giving and you were just taking, and now you're taking a step back and realizing that. So that's going to be different for different people. But that reciprocity, for a lot of you, that's something that you're learning right now, and that's a huge lesson for you in that process, and how we need that from other people. Like in order, like that's how when we are empowered, when we love ourselves, when we respect ourselves, we demand that from other people. And we don't do it in an overbearing way. It's just like, if you're not going to give as much as I'm giving, then this isn't going to work, because this isn't balanced. We need that even flow of energy. And so there's nothing wrong with taking your energy back when somebody isn't giving, and if to the level that you are capable of and you are willing and ready to give. And I know for a lot of you Leos, like you guys have that big heart energy, and you can be on the flip side of, we have that, sometimes you guys can be a little bit self-centered in that way without even necessarily meaning to be. But on the other end of it, like you guys do everything big. You love big as well. And so for a lot of you, like you loved really big. You really gave and poured out this emotion, and that was not necessarily reciprocated. And so you're learning the importance of that, and you're also learning the importance of being able to give that to yourselves, and how until we're really able to give that to ourselves, we can't give that to another, and that is not going to be reflected back to us. Like, we have to find that within. And then luck is on your side. This is just these destined and fated events, this incredible energy that you're either becoming or, and actually, no, it's both. Because as you become this energy, you attract this energy into your reality. So it's this new cycle. It's one and the same. You guys are stepping into this Emperor, this King of Wands energy, right? And as you step into that energy, whether you are male or female, you are embodying that energy and attracting that frequency and bringing somebody in or something in that is a match. And it may not necessarily be a person for all of you. For some of you, what you're bringing in that's an energetic match is a career or a business, an opportunity, so many different things that you are receiving. I'm seeing this justice too as like a receiving of karma, like karmic rewards coming back around, karmic justice in whatever way that works, whether that's justice for things that you've done really well, areas where you've excelled, where you've really been able to give of yourself and find that balance, or justice in areas where the energy wasn't unbalanced. But that's still beautiful, because even if the justice and the karma that we receive isn't 100% what we would perceive to be in our favor, it is in our favor, because once we receive it, that cycle closes out and we're able to move into this new cycle. And then I'm also getting on the bottom of the deck, show the world the real you. So just really shining and being your beautiful, authentic selves. Like, that's always what I feel when I pull this card, is like taking off the mask. We talked about that a lot in some of the astrology videos that I've done recently for the different weeks, and with the full moon in Aquarius, right? This whole process of that, and how sometimes we wear that mask because it's more socially acceptable. We wear that mask because when we put that on, people react and give us the reaction that we want, right? And we get that validation. So once again, like, you guys are being called to step away from that, to not do that anymore, to really step into this energy of like, I know who I am. I know what I want. I am confident in myself. I am confident in my capabilities, in my creativity, in my empowerment. And I'm really not worried about what you have to say about what it is that I'm doing, who it is that I am, right? Even on a deeper level. Like, that's a fear that's coming up for a lot of you guys, right? Is like showing, as you become more and more authentic, it's this fear of like, am I going to be as liked? Am I going to be as loved? And absolutely, you will be liked and loved by the people that you are meant to be liked and loved by. And everybody that does not like the true authentic you is not a vibrational match for you and does not need to be in your life in the first place, right? So that's just really like weeding out. It's sort of like taking out the trash. When we show who we really are, that does half of our work for us, because we don't have to figure out who's hiding things, right? Who's lying and manipulating, who's being honest and upfront with us, because honest and upfront about how they feel about us, right? Because we know, like, people react to when we're not playing to the crowd and we're not giving them what we know they want, and instead we're giving them the real us, then we like that saves us so much time and work. The people that are going to leave, and good riddance, because that's making room for all these destined and fated events and people and situations that want to come into your life. Once you really step into yourself, and this is like, show the world the real you. This is also being authentic in any of these situations where you have been inauthentic, whether this was intentionally or unintentionally. This is just telling you, like, it's okay to be authentic, to be real, to be honest, to be raw. That's what you guys are being asked to do right now, and that's what is going to initiate this beautiful new cycle of abundance for you. And so we're going to leave that reading there for today. I hope that you enjoyed this and you found it helpful. I do personal readings. If you are interested in one of those, please reach out to me. I do energy healings. I do all kinds of different things that can assist you in this process. So if you would like a little more clarity, if you would like some help sort of moving through any of these different energies, please, as I said, reach out. If you like this video, it really helps out if you give it a like. That helps it to get out to more people so that more people can hear the message that need to hear it. And definitely subscribe so that you can catch more videos. I have a link to donate as well in the description box below. I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful birthday month. I know some of this may have come out a little bit harsh, but I tell you guys like it is. Like, there's absolutely zero judgment. We all have situations in our lives where sometimes we don't present ourselves, or we present ourselves a certain way. Sometimes just because that's the way that we like to see ourselves, or the way that we would like to be. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like really coming into that sense of stepping into our own power and just being authentic. It's a journey for every single one of us. And so any of the stuff that I say, it's just about really inspiring you guys to dig deeper. Like, we're all just wanting to be better, to get to that next level, right? And so this is just another lesson and another sort of step on that ladder, on that ascension ladder, right? And then what popped up as I was shuffling was the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. So that's all on the way for you guys. That is all on the way for you guys if you're really willing to do the work. And yeah, whichever way that cookie crumbles. I will see you all later. Have a wonderful, wonderful month.